Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing one of my favorite modern Jaeger-LeCoultre models. Part of a model family introduced at SIHH 2008, this 300-piece limited edition bowed the next year in 2009, and it is the AMVOX3 Tourbillon GMT, a fusion of elements from the AMVOX line, the Master Tourbillon, and the original Extreme Lab 1. It's 44 millimeters in a combination of platinum and black ceramic. So 44 millimeters, it's an easy watch to wear on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist because it's compact from lug to lug. Only 49.5 millimeters, and principally in ceramic, it's lighter than you would expect for a platinum garnished watch, which is to say I believe you could wear this watch on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Now the timepiece is neither thick nor thin. It's 15.3, but a surprising amount of that is the box section sapphire rather than the case itself. The spacing between the lugs, a very modern and broad 23 millimeters, which gives this watch a wide and planted stance. The strap is a handsome piece, styled after the model that debuted on the AMVOX2 DBS. It's a combination of textile, contrasting stitch, and calfskin. Handsomely perforated, it recalls both driving equipment as well as furnishings and upholstery of 1960s and 70s Aston Martin sports cars and Grand Tours. You can see calfskin on the underside. It uses a semi-curved spring bar to allow the lugs to be drilled fairly close to the case, so it fits well, but it also doesn't have any constraint. You can see how that curvature allows the strap to pull straight down around the tight curve of a small wrist. Now the clasp, it's full white gold, as after 2006, JLC watches made of platinum had to feature a double deployant, and JLC, for whatever reason, is resistant to using platinum for small swing components, which is to say they use the hardest of golds, in this case white gold rather than platinum, to reinforce the structural integrity. Being a double fold, it's actually better for a small wrist than a single fold, and it is a gray gold alloy, so it will never scratch through and it never needs to be rhodium plated. Because it's curved on its underside, it's wrist friendly too. Now jumping back to the watch, what's impressive here is that JLC fully finished the ceramic. You can see the zirconium and yttrium hybrid, which is finished in a kiln, is actually then diamond polished to create the characteristic AMVOX case shape. You can see it's matte on its flanks, it's matte on its lug hoods, but then there is a bright glossy polish to the expanding bevel around the midcase. The case flares up on the flank to protect the crystal, and you can see to good effect that the crystal is dramatically cambered and it's cut with a box section, so a very expensive piece to make. You want to increase the cost of a crystal and the expense and complexity of manufacture? Make it a domed crystal. Want to make it more expensive and complex still? Give it a box section profile at its edge. JLC does both to evoke a little bit of mid-century plexiglass with the same luxury of scratch resistance that you get with sapphire. Now the dial, we're going to improve the light here and get a little bit closer. The dial is remarkably complex. Depth, nuance, shapes, textures, materials, all of it mixes up, starting outboard with a radial indication for the date. And you can see, unlike the original Master Tourbillon, JLC didn't jump from 15 to 16. They logically jump from the end of the month to the beginning of the month. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the system whereby the Tourbillon caliber uses a pawl-based system to jump the date indication all the way over the tourbillon in the course of a single night, so you never have to worry about the tourbillon being blocked by the date indicator. Now the watch also features the Aston Martin wings at 6 o'clock, and you'll note there is a second time zone that you can actually cover up, superimpose the hour hands if you don't need that second time zone. It's a wonderful system that lets you clean up the watch. And you'll note just right there that the AM/PM system lets you know whether you're looking at the day or the night using a crystal over a white highlight patch. It actually has a separate sapphire that lets you know whether you're looking at day or night, and that of course relates to the stub skeletonized red second time zone hand. You have that crystal-based AM/PM that relates to that second time zone, which you can cover when you don't need. Now you can see there is a tourbillon regulator down at 6 o'clock. We're going to get as close as we can and try to improve the focus here. The bridge is beautifully finished. The execution of the movement is high horology, even if the look is relentlessly modern and techno-industrial. You have applique white gold numerals with luminova inserts. Let me get a little bit out, move a little bit out. So you have applique numerals made of white gold. The hands at center are white gold with luminova inserts, and there is a radiator style perforated honeycomb just below. You'll note there's a polished chaptering inboard like the tachometer, clock, or speedometer of the dashboard of a vintage Aston Martin racing car. And you can see a perlage across the base plate below the frosted and beveled tourbillon bridge. Turn it all over and you have caliber 988. Why not 978? Well, 978 was the original 2009 chronometry Concours winner. It actually beat the Gyro Tourbillon 2 from JLC in an independent test, proving that it could be as accurate as 50 seconds a year or better. Now, this movement borrows elements from the 978, but also from the original Master Compressor Extreme Lab. Principally, it takes the platinum iridium winding mass, which is 12% more dense than 24 karat gold, and then it adds a carbon fiber rotor to maximize the outward polar moment. So this is a very efficient winding system. It's also unidirectional with ceramic bearings, and then you can see Cote de Genève have been applied across the base plate, and then you have black polished screw heads with chamfered slots. You can also see the execution of all the individual components underneath that relentlessly techno-modernist rotor are finished traditionally. You see the Cote de Genève, as well as the engine-turned perlage on the base plate and the black polish of the screws. 48-hour power reserve, automatic winding, 2 time zones, platinum iridium winder, ceramic rotor bearings, unidirectional winding, 50-meter water resistance. It also features a free-sprung balance with an overcoil hairspring to help compound the advantages of the tourbillon, canceling out the effects of gravity in multiple positions on the wrist. If you have a tourbillon these days for a wristwatch, you really need an overcoil in conjunction. It's a modern caliber, a tough caliber, and externally a tough watch, beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour with a 1-minute tourbillon. 300 pieces made for 2009. You can see this AMVOX3 platinum ceramic on our website, thewatchbox.com. And we're back with the Jaeger-LeCoultre AMVOX3 Tourbillon GMT. As you can see, this is a true sports watch. The significance of the non-loomed lower dial is that it recalls the uncalibrated lower quarter of a tachometer or a speedometer in an Aston Martin vehicle. So that's the logic to that.